Hot on the heels of the global success of Marvel Rivals, and with other popular live service games like Naraka Blade Point and Once Human under its belt, NetEase has turned its attention to the hero shooter genre with FragPunk. New internal development team Bad Guitar Studio is made up of young, hardcore FPS fans, and after joining them for a 1-hour play session, where we tried a new character and map revealed exclusively in this preview, the team's eye for detail is clear to see.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't fail.
FragPunk's main game mode is the 5v5 Shard Clash mode. On its surface, this mode resembles your typical Overwatch-like hero shooter skirmish, but it also pulls from a variety of influences to mix up the gameplay. The rounds in this mode are closer to the bomb defusal objectives of Counter-Strike, with one team planting bombs at specified locations and the other defending, with relatively small arenas that keep rounds tight and focused.
Wow!
As with any hero shooter, players can choose from a selection of characters named Lancers who each have a selection of unique skills. For our session, we tried the newly unveiled character Chum, a stone robot who is accompanied by a mechanical pet anglerfish named Chomper. Chum can toss projectiles similar to sticky mines and smoke grenades, as well as sending Chomper out as support. Chomper can track and bite enemies for multiple low damage attacks, essentially like a walking turret, or can be modified with pet treats that make it explode on contact or trail a thick smoke screen in its wake, adding several strategic layers that felt fun to mix up. And being made of stone, Chum is also a strong defense character, making him a great all-round option for newcomers.
I hope Mr. Gunn likes the taste of these.
Many other Lancer abilities are not only offensive, but defensive or tactical. Walls for cover, traps, speed boosts, skills that highlight enemies on the map, and so on. We tried several Lancers and found a varied effect on gameplay. Using Nitro with her directly controllable 4-legged drone and gun turrets, we were able to rack up multiple assists, while Axon was another favourite thanks to his more aggressive selection of skills, including projectile bombs and a cool guitar gun.
Oh, don't eat it this time!
But what really sets FragPunk apart is its shard cards system. At the start of each round, each team is assigned a set of 3 cards, each of which changes the rules of the round for your entire team. Some are simple stat percentage boosts or buffs, while others do things like increasing the size of your enemy's head, decreasing your own, or equipping helmets, affecting the difficulty of headshots for that round. Others still are much more unusual and completely change the gameplay. For example, one shard card gave our team a kind of proximity detector, so that we got an aural and visual signal whenever an enemy was nearby, while another slowly regenerated our health gauge, both of which gave us a welcome advantage. Others have active effects. Press the Z key to swap health bars with an enemy, or swap gear with them, or to jump into a parallel world where you can essentially run unseen to a new location and then pop back into the fight to ambush your foes. It's a lot to take in. You only have around 30 seconds to finalize your hand for each round, and at first each of the 150 plus cards will be new to you. But after a few rounds, the shard card system began to make sense, and really paid off in terms of making each round feel different. We were forced to engage differently with every round, rethinking strategies and responding not only to our team's current hand, but also the enemy team's.
Sticky bomb activating.
Interestingly, the rule set shuffling shard cards were inspired not only by other video games, but also by sports. Creative director Xing Chang explained, "I play soccer and basketball, so I like games with a 2-team system. The NBA often make changes to the rules to keep the sport interesting. Based on that idea, I also wanted to have a system of tweaking the rules in our game."
Your time, little buddy.
FragPunk also features a duel mode. When a match ends in a tie, it changes to a one-on-one showdown, a little bit like the mano-a-mano face-offs in Call of Duty Warzone's Gulag, but inspired by the penalty shootouts from soccer. Each player takes their turn in the queue for a series of short and sharp winner-stays-on rounds in small but vertically layered arenas, making for a fun and different tiebreaker minigame. It's so cool, the devs even added it as a separate standalone mode called Duel Master.
You're on a dueling Wednesday.
Each map has interactive gimmicks that players can use strategically to gain the upper hand. First, we tried the newly unveiled map Dongtian. This is the Hangzhou, China-based dev team's stab at an Asian-flavoured map, and its 2 bomb sites can be rotated by players for tactical advantage. We want to use these rotating walls to switch the edge between the attack team and the defense team, explained level designer An Yuan. So we encourage players to fight for that core area to maintain their edge or to get the edge for themselves. Other maps have their own gimmicks that were fun to explore, from changeable bridges to magic portals, and clearly players who take the time to learn them will gain an advantage.
I go where I will.
Built into a mountain and dotted with ancient wooden temple buildings, mystical statues, and wizened trees with gracefully warped trunks, Dongtian's Eastern aesthetic brings a smart visual twist to FragPunk's colourful world. Art director Yiming Li told us, "We wanted to blend ancient buildings that look like they could come from China with near-future science and technology elements. We want each map's distinctive cultural features to fit into the game's overall sci-fi feeling. It's like in Star Wars, each of the civilizations are very different, but when they're viewed as a whole, they also exist under a harmonious sci-fi setting."
You won. It's about to explode.
And that brings us to FragPunk's visuals. This is a really gorgeous game. The punk-influenced and sci-fi tinged fluorescent aesthetic is rich and appealing, and its kill animations are punctuated by dazzling bursts of colour. Its maps are extremely readable, and player characters pop, making it easy to follow the action. Even its menus are pretty to look at, with the flashy presentation you'd expect from a Persona game or Street Fighter 6, with bold layouts accented by graffiti scribbles. It really stands out in the hero shooter space. In addition to the Shard Clash and duel modes that we tried, FragPunk will feature a mix of modes at or after launch that are targeted at both hardcore and casual players. The development team is apparently largely made up of pro-level players, but it's clear they have also taken steps to make the game accessible to newbies and even streamers and their viewers. We left our session feeling excited to jump into the full game. FragPunk launches on PC, PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S on March 6.